Hello, good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio. So myself, Oxshare, on the show this evening is Bridgeman and my mate Travelrock. Evening, boys.
Good evening.
Oh, that was quite short, Travelrock. Good evening to you and good evening to Oxshare, and a good evening to all the Rangers fans listening in all over the world, and particularly your boys here in the panel here. Everybody, good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio.
How you doing, Bridgeman?
Yes, I'm like everybody else, rather flat, shall we say?
Yeah, but
no, other than that, but health-wise.
Did you sign the 1,000 T-shirts for me today?
No, I did not.
Oh, right, okay.
No, I did not. What was it? Was that for the beating Hamilton? Nah, no chance.
How are you, Travelrock?
I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm no flat. That's for sure.
No,
the lockdown's
no,
the lockdown's taking care of that.
I'm sure it sounded like that right enough.
Aye, exactly. Aye.
Right, okay, I'll tell you what we'll do, mate. I think what we're going to do is we're going to hear for the two stars of the Rangers family. We're going to have a view for the bridge, and then we're going to hear for gaffer Stevie Gerrard, MBE, and then we'll get the show going. All right, is that all right with you, Travel?
That's bang on, mate. I'm happy with that.
Yes, all right. So let's have a view from the bridge.
Well, good evening. Welcome to A View from the Bridge. And to start off with the bad news, yesterday's game. So, by the way, let's get started. It was a shocking 1-1 draw for the famous yesterday against the Hamilton side at New Douglas Park. Although I don't know if that's their actual name of their actual pitch, but at home. Maybe someone can enlighten me on that. A deserved point for the Ackies. We played very poorly throughout the game until Davis, Jack and Roofe appeared. And I think that pitch coupled with the cold weather had a negative impact on our game. Great levellers. A brilliant performance from all the Ackies players yesterday. We failed to match them in a lot of the game. They managed to put more pressure on us yesterday than all the recent Ackies games combined. If the Ackies had won the game, I don't know if I could have complained. The only complaint I have other than our team performance is the refereeing standard. Consistency is the name of the game, but that ref never seemed to show any. Poor performance from the ref. He missed a lot of barging, pulling and blocking and loads of petty fouls in that game. I think that could be the worst game we've ever played under Gerrard. That's one of my opinion, of course. Let's go on to the game itself. Excuse me. And within the first minute, their forward Callaghan made a very poor tackle on Goldson. Got a free kick. We got a free kick and he was yellow carded. Again, still within that minute, a lovely run down the left by Ryan Kent into the box and got a low shot and keeper managed to save it. On 1 minute, a lovely run down the left by Hamilton sees Anderson on the edge of the box. He has a shot, but it goes wide. In 10 minutes, Kent on the left puts in a great ball to Aribo, who then finds Davis on the edge of the box. Well, not Davis, isn't it Davis, on the edge of the box, who sidesteps the defender and gets a shot, and that's Aribo, my apologies, and blocked by another defender. On 12 minutes, Kent on the left puts in a great ball to Aribo, who then finds, again he says it, I don't know where I'm getting Davis from, on the edge of the box, who sidesteps the defender, gets in a shot, which is blocked by another defender. On 15 minutes, Joe Aribo, who runs for the box and lashes a left-footed shot from just outside the box, which goes just past the left-hand post. It's close, but misses to the left. Great try by Aribo, unlucky Rangers. On 35 minutes, Zungu finds Joe Aribo again on the left. He runs forward, left-footed shot from outside the box, close but misses again to the left. On 44 minutes, Ryan Kent wins a free kick on the edge of the box, taken by Tav, who puts the ball over the bar once again. Half-time 0-0, Hamilton are playing to the plan and Rangers aren't. Second half starts with no changes to the Rangers team. In 46 minutes, a brilliant forward pass by Philippe Helander finds Ryan Kent on the left. He controls the ball and gets into the box and has a cracking shot with his left foot, but he just misses into side netting. Brilliant pass and shot, hard luck Kent. 54 minutes, a long high goal kick by the Aki's keeper comes down about 10 yards from our box, and what a stramash that was. We failed to gather the ball runs away, it breaks to Tav on the edge of the box, he doesn't tackle properly, but very weak challenges all round. But ball goes to Callaghan, who gets in a good shot, a good left-footed shot from the centre. It's saved by both McGregor and Helander, and breaks out to Ogum. I can't even pronounce the boy's name. Ogumpo in the box, which is headed out for a corner by Helander. Great header, that, brilliant. Rangers are under severe pressure, they really are. In 74 minutes, a great passing move involving Jack and Kent sees a brilliant pass to Kent, who gets a shot in just past the far post. Great play and unlucky there, Rangers. I must say that Kent is missing some good chances here. On 76 minutes, Hadji is robbed of the ball by the Hamilton player, who runs inside our half, heading for their box, where Helander blocks him on the edge of the box. Free kick and a yellow card for Helander. The free kick is taken by Callaghan, and his right foot shot is saved at the bottom left-hand corner. Well saved, McGregor. We were lucky there. On 80 minutes, some brilliant interplay from Rangers sees a lovely pass down the inside left channel to Borna, who strides forward and puts in a low cross, one of his specials, about 2 yards out from the goal line. The defender somehow manages to nudge the ball into his own net. I think the ball was going to go to Tavernier anyway, but there you go. What a relief there, 1-0 to the famous. On 94 minutes, some really good play from Hamilton. Left Rangers player struggling. A tremendous cross by Hughes to the far post. Sees a lovely header from which the keeper parries, but Callaghan was falling up and he slipped the ball under McGregor. What a shocker. We didn't know what we were doing sometimes in that game. 1-1 with the famous. I just can't see it. Okay, let's go to the stats. That game, by the way, leaves us 76 points from 28 games. We have 10 league games left to play. We're 21 points clear at the top of the league with a goal difference of 60 with 20 clean sheets. We really sweated to get this result. Player by player. McGregor 9, Tavernier 6, Goldson 6, Helander 6, Barisic 6, Kamara 6, Zungu 5, Aribo 6, Hadji 6, Itten 6, and Kent 7. Man of the match, for me, McGregor by a mile. Possession 31% Hamilton, 69% Rangers. Shots 12 for Hamilton, 15 for Rangers. Shots on target 7 for Hamilton, 2 for Rangers. Corners 5 for Hamilton, 4 for Rangers. Fouls 17 for Hamilton, 13 for Rangers. And there endeth A View from a Bridge.
It wasn't good enough, Nick. Myself and the players and us as a group, we've had tremendous praise throughout the season, and rightly so, because we've put ourselves in a fantastic position if you look at the big picture. But today it's very, very, very tough to find individuals and the collective to praise, really, besides Alan McGregor and the subs that come on. Really disappointed in how the game's gone, and I think when the dust settles we'll look at that as a point gain, because we didn't deserve anything out of the game.
Is it more frustrating having got yourself into the winning position so late in the game?
It's just frustrating because you don't recognise a lot of our play today. We knew what Hamilton were going to do, put two up front. They were going to try and turn us with channel balls, get in our face and rough us up. We just weren't good enough both sides of the game today. We've worked extremely hard as a group since we've come in to find an identity, and for large parts of that game it just wasn't there. You know, our keeper's been the busiest out of the two goalies, which is disappointing. We've missed some good chances at the other end, okay, but if you look at the reflection of the game, I think you've got to give credit to them and their manager. They deserved more out of the game than us, and that's the disappointing thing from my point of view.
In terms of positives, you mentioned your goalkeeper, and also great to see Scott Wright getting a debut this afternoon.
Yeah, I thought all the subs were positive. You know, Scott's going to be a little, good little footballer for us. You can see he's clever. You can see what he's going to be. He just needs time to get used to the surroundings and different teammates and how we play. I've got no worries or concerns about him at all. I thought we looked a lot better when I brought the subs on. The subs brought personality, which tells me that I got some decisions wrong today. So I'll look at myself. Got a lot of fans around the world watching today. We're live, we're on the telly. The only positive thing is that we haven't lost the game because we deserve to lose the game. And I've got no praise for me players for the first time this season.
6 days to come on it. What's the sort of work you'll be putting in going into that one then?
Well, I'll be telling some individuals some home truths. And I'll be analysing the whole game, and then I'll pick a team that maybe deserves to play next week, and we'll go from there. We're at home, we've been really strong, and I expect a bit of reaction in terms of the performance we got today.
Well, thanks for that, Fox. Thanks for that, Bridge. You back with us, Travel, Bridgeman? Yeah?
Yep,
I'm here, bud.
Still here.
Okay, we'll start with the view for your Bridge. I think you were very generous in your marks, mate. Apart from Alan McGregor. Trevor, I'll go with you, mate.
Yes, it's good hearing the view for the Bridge, and it's good hearing the view for the manager, but I think the person that gave us the best commentary of that game on at the weekend was the goalkeeper. His interview at the end of the match was pretty clear, and I think he spoke for every supporter and just and made it quite clear where he stood on the performance. But I echoed a lot of how I felt.
We played that interview yesterday, mate, and
and that's what I'm saying.
He doesn't say a lot,
that's
when he talks, you should listen.
Absolutely, yes, yeah. And as I say, he covered what he says. It's just exactly how I felt.
Bridgeman?
Yes, I think so. I think McGregor's really good, and he's fearless in what he says. And at the end of the day, he's speaking about his own players, his own comrades. And he's right. We all see it. There's nothing you can say. We were absolutely minging yesterday at times.
I think it's hard to get out.
No, I'm only saying at times because there are other times during the game I thought we played very, very well. There's some lovely passing. One of my big disappointments was that Kent, who must have had 6 or 7 real good shots at goal, and so did Aribo, and none of them were on target, truth be told. Their goalkeeper did. He hit her and kicked the ball.
Do you remember that goal having a safety, mate?
No, I'm saying that. Nothing to do.
But see, this is what I'm going to say, Bridge. You're saying there where we played some lovely football. The only bit of football I think we played is when we scored the goal.
Oh, no, that's because the result was there. We made some lovely passing movements and shots on goal. The truth of the matter was, during the game, Aribo must have had 4 shots. Kent must have had 6 or 7. But all I'm saying is they came in nothing, so it doesn't matter. They don't matter. It's the play, that ball for Helander over the top into for Ryan Kent.
That is setting off right.
Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Aye.
It was a nice passing. Jack played a nice ball through to. He was on a couple of minutes and put a nice ball through to Kent.
Aye. What did he do? Put it wide.
When you go travel.
No, I'm agreeing with what you said earlier. The only goalkeeper I remember making saves was our goalkeeper, and that's not acceptable for us for the football that we've been playing this year. And I'm not wanting to get I don't want to be too critical of the team because, as the manager says, we've been excellent, and we've strung some run together, and ultimately we're still unbeaten. And I just one thing that I think maybe my biggest disappointment is the way that we didn't just close out the game. To lose that goal with the dying kick of the ball, that was a loss in concentration for us, and we can't be accused of that. We've been very, very good all season with that and seen out games.
There was a couple of errors for me in that particular chapter of play. Why Tav's away up the park in the last minute is beyond me, mate. And why Kent dribbles into the box with other players. If he takes it into the corner flag, like we've done in a few games, just to be a wee bit more streetwise, maybe get suited for a throw in and then they kind of get up the park. You just box them in and the game's done, you know?
Can I just come in on that one part? The worst defender for any of that was Goldson, and I'm a big fan of Goldson. But he headed the ball from inside our half, right over the top of their defence. No problem. Nobody there. Absolutely nobody up the park. And I'm thinking, head it out the park. Fair there, get it out the park, out to their left wing or something like that. And he heads it straight down the middle. Goalkeeper picks up and leathers up the park, and away they go. Excuse me.
The game had went into the game had went into injury time, and we just kept possession. They kind of probed a wee bit, but nothing really
we were just putting the game
too serious. And they were passing it out, and I'm thinking, I'm looking at it, and I'm thinking, let's see if we can hold this ball for the full 4 minutes, just between Davis, Jack, Kent. But then I think it might have been actually Tav that tried to break into the box and gave the ball away. And I'm thinking, that was just a waste. Why? We don't need to score a second goal. What we need to do is not lose a goal. So keep the ball and just keep working it back and forward. Hamilton had done the goal that we scored, knocked the stuffing out of them.
Their legs had gone.
So the last thing we needed today was to allow a ball to come into the box. And I know what you're saying about some of the mistakes, and you're right. Tav, why he wasn't just covering his own position, I don't know. But also, there was 3 other defenders in that box who all went the same direction. The 2 centres and Barisic all went towards the goalkeeper and left the boy Bruce Anderson, who he's hardly a giant. I mean, he's 5'8", 5'9". He had a free header. Now the goalkeeper pulls off another cracking save, and we all seem to be on our heels. It's the first one to react is a Hamilton. So it's fair enough. Tav, who I thought was absolute, but he was amongst others. He was minging yesterday, but he got caught out. But the other 3 defenders have got to look at themselves here, and fair enough. I don't think the big centre Helander looks comfortable on that surface there, but I wouldn't have dropped him because I think he's been playing well. But I'm not making excuses for him.
He was one of our better players.
The whole defence was culpable for that.
He was one of our better players yesterday.
Yeah. Can I go, Paul?
Before I'll come to you in a minute, Bridge. There's two bits to that game. There's how we performed, and we actually dissect the goal. The goal, first minute, last minute, it doesn't matter. It's a sickener because you've no time to react and it's done. And ultimately we dropped 2 points. Yeah. But the way we played is a different subject for losing a goal. You can lose a goal at any time and people make individual errors. That's football. But over the 90 minutes or the 95 minutes, we were poor, mate. And whether that's to do with bringing in the players that we brought in, I think we all agreed that we wanted Ditson in. I thought he done okay without beating. He was a 5 or a 6 out of 10. I wouldn't argue with that. But Zunga came in, and at the same time Zunga was making his way. He ultimately didn't have a great game. But the guys, Aribo and Kamara either side of him, they weren't great near a travel rug. Barisic and Tavernier had poor games, and so did Kent and Hadji. They had poor games as well. So a lot of our guys were established stars were poor yesterday. Not just the guys that came into the team travel.
Yeah, well, I read somebody made a comment today, and I've got a lot of respect for him. He writes a lot of sense, and they'd said Zungu was maybe a 5 or 5.5, but the other ones, Kamara, Aribo, and Hadji, Kent, they were all 4. So I'm not going to be criticising Zungu. He's come in there. When I seen the midfield, I must say I wasn't thrilled about it. I thought, I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, right, who's going to be that guy that's going to sit there? Because Zungu, for me, is not that type of player. Kamara, for me, it needs to either be Jack or Davis holds that position, and then you play a combination of Zungu and Aribo or Zungu and Kamara. He shouldn't. For me, the three of them should never be in a midfield again, because we always need to have a focal point of that, the kind of the point there, and that is either going to be Jack or Davis for me, and I don't think any of the other midfielders can fill that position.
You might be right there, because when you look back and you think back to the other maybe bad result we've had this season when we drew it, we lost again at
St Mirren.
The midfield was Arfield, Aribo and Zunga. Yeah, there's no Jack and Davis. But listen, that's...
Just before we move on from that point, am I the only alone in thinking? For me, you go out there, you play your strongest team, or you play what you think is your strongest team, and get a result, get a goal, get 2 goals, and then you make the changes. I think that was a problem at St Mirren. I felt that was another problem at St Mirren, is that I think we should go, and it's all fine and well, lean players out to give them a rest. How much a rest is it when you've got to bring them on chasing the game, as we were, when having to bring on Jack and Davis? Maybe he was always going to bring them on, but I just always feel that you need to secure a result and then you look at your changes. I mean, the game last week, was it Ross County, where he was able to bring on all the players and it didn't affect the game because we were on a roll, the team was playing well, and it was easy to bring the subs on. The way that we were set up yesterday, I just wasn't comfortable with it.
I don't disagree with your sentiment, but what we'll never know is if we played with best team, originally with best team, that if they do similar chances, it hits off one of our best players and in the goal. As a team yesterday, we were poor. Even with defenders who have been quite consistent, Golson and Hollander weren't great yesterday. They were okay, but they weren't great.
I don't think our fullbacks have been good for a few weeks now either. I don't think
people are setting up a new Cumbridge before we open the phone lines.
I was going to say that the 2 fullbacks weren't at their best for sure. But I thought that Borna Barisic came on in the last... Once the substitution came made, Borna Barisic came alive a bit and started running on into the box and getting good crosses in, whereas he hadn't done that. But I think Borna Barisic, that cross he put in, was definitely going to go to Tavernier if the goalkeeper didn't get his hand to it. Goalkeeper made a nice save there, pushed the ball out, but at their own player and back into the net. But if he misses it, that's going straight to Tavernier and it's in the net. But we've got the goal anyway, not that it matters. But I don't think Tav has been up for the game for a number of weeks, and he keeps taking the free kicks, and it's driving him nuts at the moment because he can't hit the goal. He can't hit the goal frame, you know. So every time he tries one, it's over the bar or into the wall. Sorry, go on, Pat.
Yesterday, I think he didn't get 2 free close balls in with free kicks. You know, not just the shooting. I mean, look, Tav's been immense for us this year, Travel Rug. I think you'd be the first to admit it, being a big fan yourself. But
yes.
When he doesn't play well, we've got to critique it. People will say, oh, you're slagging Tav for, but we're only talking about the 90 minutes yesterday, mate.
Yeah. I mean, his first corner, he put it at the park. His first corner went at the park before he even got in the box.
And by the way, don't get me wrong, yesterday, I don't think you could blame one individual. That was a classic.
Oh, no,
you win as a team, you lose as a team, or draw as a team. And we done that yesterday, apart from Alan McGregor. It could
have been worse for Tav, because I'm sitting there with half an hour played or whatever, and I'm thinking, I hope we don't get a penalty.
That's my thoughts exactly, by the way. That was my thoughts exactly. For God's sake.
Right, let's get these phone lines open. What's the number, Bridge?
The number's 0141 356 1972.
Or joins at Skype at rangersradio.online. We brought in the call with Fox Old School Blue. If you phone in, hang up and we will phone you back. And then we'll bring you into the conversation, yeah?
Just another quick question on the selection yesterday. Do you believe the sighting of Kemar Roofe affected the manager's decision when it came to picking his centre forward? Do you think Roofe would have continued and played, or do you think because of a potential suspension coming up, that forced his hand to play Eaton? Do you think he was always going to play Eaton in that game?
If you play people after a performance and you pick your team after the last game. Roof, in my opinion, should have been dropped to the bench. I thought it was awful. Forgetting about the tackle. What were your thoughts on that one? I thought it was awful against St Johnstone, in my opinion. Bridgman?
I'd agree with that. I thought, I said it yesterday, I thought it was well away from the game. Something like, but I'm talking about the game when he got sent off. Or no, he didn't get booked. But the truth of the matter is, I think he's half a yard. His game's gone by half a yard, and he needs to get that game back up.
But I'll counter that by saying that he's been injured.
I know, I understand that, pal. I understand that.
And I would have liked to have gave him another game.
Of course we do. I'm not saying that we shouldn't be giving him games. I'm saying my critique on Roof when that tackle went in, he was a half a yard short on his game. And I'm not talking about fitness. I'm talking about match fitness. His coordination was wrong, and it's been happening a couple of times. He's bumping into people when it's totally unnecessary. These kind of things. But that was pretty bad tackle, truth be told. Pretty bad tackle.
He was still poor yesterday, mate. It's not so much.
Indeed, because he's no fit.
I'm not saying he's no fit, that he can run about. I mean, he might not be as fit as us three natural athletes on here. But I'm not talking about running about and all that. Just his touch is appalling at the moment. Travel.
He's just not got it.
Yeah, and I would rather we played him and try and get him to discuss, get himself involved in the games and play himself through this, because we're going to need him in the games for the European games that's coming up, and then obviously we've got a run of games where we still need to get some results on the board.
I would rather. I don't like players trying to get their fitness in their first team, mate. I really don't. It's not something I'm a fan of.
I must agree with
that. No many other options at the moment, unfortunately. It's only the first team that's playing, so
I know.
But we most assuredly need to give the guy the chances whenever we can.
Let's remember before he got injured, Roof was on fire.
Brilliant!
The roof is on fire. But I never even meant that one. But no, but he was playing very well before he got that injury.
Thanks for the call. Don't be a stranger.
Can I just say that also, when you look back, and I think we'll look back at that game and we'll see that Aribo was playing in the wrong position. He should have been out in the right wing or something like that. He was in midfield and he shouldn't have been in midfield.
I've been picking my words very wisely, but look, I'll say it again. You win as a team, you lose as a team. There was guys that really disappointed me yesterday in their performances, but collectively we were poor.
Very poor.
Yeah, and we actually stole a point. We stole the point. No, them it scored in the 94th minute, bizarrely. Right, let's get some callers in, right? We'll see what it takes us. I imagine everybody in a good mood tonight. Travel, what do you think?
But just quickly, why should we not be in a good mood? Let's be clear. I know it was a poor performance, but look at the position we're in. We are cruising the top of this league.
They're looking at the wee picture, not the big picture. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yep. And do we have? I certainly have the faith. Does everybody else have the faith that this team can turn it around and react and come back?
I've known my seat on the train to drop me at the station, right out into the Hummer, and away I go on a party, mate. Simple as that, mate. I moved off no train. Bridgeman?
I'm the same, pal. No way am I changing my mind. I don't see. Look, that was a very poor performance, and if you put poor performances in against a team who's up for it, which is, you got to add that part in as well, And if you're playing poorly and the other team's playing really well, my goodness gracious, you're going to get beat. We did the same with St Mirren. We put in a poor performance and St Mirren beat us. So you've got to be able to balance all these things out in your as a player, balance these things out in your head, and get into the game the way you want to play the game. Make sure you do it. Simple as that.
Okay, we've been joined by Gary B. Lobby. Evening, Gary.
How are we doing, boys? We okay?
Hi, Gary.
Aye, all right, mate. But, okay.
Good.
Good. What's yours?
Aye, I know. I was upset, as many Bears were yesterday, and I tried to call in after the game, but the lines were red hot, so I thought I'll put it off till the night. And I was a wee bit upset, but my Chris Boyd mask turned up the day. That cheered me up. So I've had them on all day. Went shopping.
I heard Chris Boyd's get a Gary Bean mask. Is that right?
Oh, mate, it's just cheered me right up, man, because there's nothing better than being a bear and walking about proudly with a mask on. There is better than being that. There's been a bear walking about proudly with a Chris Boyd mask on, especially down here. That cheered me up.
The post office today were in for his pension, and they asked him to put his mask on. And he said, "You used to ask me to take my mask off when I came in here."
Very suspicious, man. Very suspicious looking man.
Life's not that bad. Listen, you can have a bad game. That's football, right? It's how we respond when we get into the Kilmarnock game, which is the most important thing. As long as we play well in that game, all is forgiven and forgotten. We haven't lost. We're still unbeaten. Yep, we played poorly. Players will reflect, and we go again. It's as simple as that. I've got my own thoughts on it. I'm a little bit concerned about how as a team or a squad or a club, how much we rely on two players who are getting on in age, because they won't be around forever.
I think I had one that's suspended as well into that mix as well, mate.
Aye. So no, but we'll three guys. I mean, McGregor in goals, who it was absolute. I think we have so much respect for McGregor anyway, because when he made that save in the Old Firm, right, and he touched on the post, and then he said to the ref that it's at the post, he didn't save it, and he means that. And that's the type of guy he is. It's not about him; it's about the team, and he doesn't want the plaudits, and he takes that into the interview. And people who watch that interview who don't know who Alan McGregor is and his type of person he is, they think that's him putting on a show. That's the way the guy is. And he was a raging, man, and really, really angry and disappointed in himself and his teammates. It wouldn't be the individuals. It would be just as a group. And they'll senior players like him and other players in the squad, they'll make sure that they train properly over the next 6 days leading up to the next game, and that's it. And as long as we go out and perform against Kilmarnock, as I say, all will be forgiven and forgotten.
It will be forgotten, but we can't come on and critique that game, Gary, and make it as if we were unlucky because we lost a goal in the last minute. We were poor. I think,
you know what it was, mate? I think we just, the players were in autopilot, and I think they just ran out of time, mate.
If you look, mate, the goals in our teams dried up, and if you play without scoring goals, apart from if you take the Ross County game out, we're not scoring a lot of goals, and even the amount of possession and the situations we're getting into, we need to get back into the situation where we're scoring goals. Take the St Johnstone game.
But what I'm saying is we were creating chances, but we're only putting them away. And I think subconsciously in the players' heads, don't worry, we'll get the next one. That's
not how it works, mate. You need to get the ball in the net and move on from there, yeah?
That's what I'm saying. So the players, and the problem they ran into in the game was, don't worry, we'll get the next one. And then before you know it, there's 10 minutes left. And you're thinking, oh, we might not score here. Or don't worry, we've got the one. And then having no seen the game, it was annoying me because you go back after we drew the last game, we started a good bit of game management, taking it into the corner, keeping it in there, which you don't see very often in a league game. But, it's important that you see it in a league game just as much as it was in a cup game. And, the 3 points is what matters. And we weren't doing that yesterday. And it did frustrate me. And, I had my hand in my mouth because...
I'll cut John be Amanda. Evening, Amanda, how are we doing?
Hello, how are we all?
I'm all right. Aye, it's a nice sea wind on Rangers radio tonight. How are you?
I can feel it up my school, right?
Oh.
No, I'm only joking. You're doing a great job. I thought about yesterday. I thought it was just a poor performance all round with the whole team. I just think not one of them played the way they've been playing the last few weeks. Do you know what I mean? Even Tavernier was well off the pace yesterday. Do you know what I mean? He was, when he scored the goal, he was seen for a start. Do you know what I mean? But I just think it was a poor performance, and we've got to say, right, okay, we should have played better. Move on to the next game. Take it as a mistake learned or a lesson learned and get on with it for the next game. Do you know what I mean?
Can you come, Travel Rock? Can you come, mate?
No, I was just going to remark it might be an icy win, but I'm the wee ray of sunshine that everybody's going to need just to put a wee bit of perspective on things here. This team have reacted to. I'm not even going to say there've been minor setbacks. Whether we've dropped points, and the biggest setback for me this season was the St Mirren game. But the team have always responded, and they've always reacted well. And I've got faith that they're going to do the same come Marnock at the weekend. And I've got faith in the manager. I've got faith in these players that they're going to turn it around. And I don't know what you're saying about no scoring goals, but we have been keeping them out. We have been very, very strong defensively. We have built that as a team.
This season shows that. Didn't it? The record this year itself shows that. No, I get good news today. I got my blood results back today, so everything's looking quite good. I'm just waiting on one result to come back now.
That's brilliant. Listen, I'd rather have that news for you and positive news for you and us getting that result yesterday, because that's more important.
Aye. Well, I got my results back. All my CA125 is looking quite normal. My other ones are looking normal, but I'm just waiting on my Hibben levels coming back now. My Hibben A and B. And Hibben A and B. And Hibben.
I thought that was a Bernie.
No, that's your cancer marker, the check when you get cancer. So I'm on that for the rest of my life now. I get them done every 4 months for the rest of my days. And I've got my genetics appointment next week, so we'll see what happens. But I know what they're going to find, blue blood, never mind anything else. I'm actually going to tell you a story. In 2019...
I'm sure you will.
2019, my friend and I had the opportunity to go to the garden party, the Queen's garden party.
All right, okay.
And we met Her Majesty the Queen. My friend and I do a lot of volunteer work in the Methodist Church. And I'd get volunteered because I'd done a lot of children's work and things like that. And I didn't know I was getting invited. So my friend said to me, you better get a dress. And I went, I don't wear dresses, I only wear trousers and a ranger strip. She's like, Amanda, seriously, you'll need to get a dress. So I managed to get a beautiful blue, red, white and blue dress. Quite patriotic. Red, white and blue dress and a beautiful outfit. And we went to the garden party and I just couldn't speak. I was gobsmacked. I was just standing curtsying at the Queen and I thought, she's tiny. She is actually tiny in real life, by the way, but she's lovely. She really is. She's lovely. But no, I mean, there's good things going on and about us, and I think with this COVID, we've got to say, right, okay, we had a bad result yesterday. Let's forget it. Move on and say, right, we'll be back. You know what I mean? Look at the difference in us in the last 4 seasons, you know what I mean?
She's a wise woman, this Amanda.
That's right. Just a second here. Amanda, me and you's going to have a chat after the line here because I think I know you. I'm sure I used to sit. I'm sure I used to sit beside you in the main stand. Is that correct?
You did, aye.
There you go.
You did.
Oh my God! There you go.
What happened to the last time I seen you?
There you go. My night's made. My night is made. Good on you, Amanda. You'll know me as another name. That's fine. I sat beside you and your dad for years. So.
And my nephew goes now. My nephew's got a season ticket now as well.
Oh, good.
He's got a season ticket.
Right, let them get back to talking. Me and you can catch up later, Amanda.
Right, no bother. Right, listen, I'll let you go and get more callers on. Right, have a good night, guys. See you later.
Great hearing for you, Amanda.
Bye.
Protection in the main stand, isn't it?
There you go. That is my old seat in the main stand.
All right, okay.
Before I moved along beside the posh ones up beside you, Ken.
Nice one.
Oh, dear. There you go.
He's on form tonight, Travel, isn't he?
Oh, he's on fire. He's not allowed to speak in the house when he gets home. That's how he's saved it all up from his own ear. Mrs. Travel Rog's she's a lady, Mrs. Travel Rog.
I can't believe it. It's Amanda. I've been listening all this time, and Amanda, and there she is. That's exactly the person who it is. I've sat beside her for years on that. Brilliant. Fantastic.
Brilliant.
Oh.
Yes, mate.
I was going to bring it back to, the lad Zungu, right? I don't want to be too harsh on him. I still think it's really early days. I don't know how much football he's played, but it's no much still. Do you remember back when he made his debut for Rangers? He came on for the last 20 minutes of the game.
Aye.
Do you remember how in that 20 minutes, how many times he got the ball and he pinged it out left and he pinged it out right, 30, 40 yard balls, and he looked dead relaxed and all that. He looks a different player now.
I think Scottish football.
You know what I mean?
The Scottish football, mate. I think yesterday. That's only my opinion. He's took a lot of flack, and he will. And some people might think we might not see him much again. I thought yesterday, in a very, very poor midfield performance, including him, he was arguably the best out of bad lot without doing anything. He just won. He got the ball a couple of times, moved it sideways. In the first half, particular, Aribo and Kamara were pretty poor. But listen, I don't know. Only time will tell where a Scottish football is going to be for him. Travel.
I'd like to defend him a wee bit. Let's look at the situation there. He's that pitch looks crap. The plastic pitch there. It's the deed of winter. It's whatever it is, minus, we're around about freezing. No, the best of conditions. He's put in there, and as we said, a midfield that I, as a supporter, not as a football player, is looking at it and going, I mean, I think Zungu would have been a lot better having a Jack or a Davis beside him. He's been expected to go in and fill that position for them, and I don't think he's that type of player. Just as you said, Gary, when he first came on, I thought he looked a smashing player. He's big. He gets about. He puts himself in there. He's got everything you think you would need, and he looked as if he had a lovely touch on the ball. Yesterday, just for me, wasn't the game that you want to be putting somebody in there. He should have been getting his that first league debut. That should have been getting our first league start. Sorry, that should have been done at Ibrox.
Hi. I remember his debut, and I can't remember if it was Hamilton or Livingston, but it was definitely on a plastic pitch. The night he made his debut, and
I'll soon tell you, Gary, while you're chatting there, we don't have many players with Z in their name. I'll check.
It was a plastic pitch he made his debut on, and he was pinging the ball a bit lovely out wide, left. Now, don't get me wrong, he didn't have as much options out wide because their fullbacks just weren't in the game. They weren't getting forward, so. There wasn't much options to hit out wide, but I just think he just seems to me he's lost his confidence. He's a battler. He wants to fight and win the ball, but he's trying too hard in that aspect. And when he does get the ball, it's the safe option all the time.
I think you're getting mixed up, mate. He made his debut against Hamilton at Ibrox, mate, in an 8-0 victory.
Oh, did he?
Maybe, if you're going to come on here, do your homework, please.
I get my facts right. Aye, you're right.
You know what I mean? That's embarrassing, travel, isn't it?
What a shocking you are, Oxney.
Shocking. You know, I mean, you can't.
I was half right.
I'll give you. We played against Hamilton. They played a plastic pitch. I'll give you. You got there, Grun and Ibrox mixed up.
I mean, there's a big difference, isn't there?
Would you?
What else I was going to say was finish on a positive.
How's your boy through these moment of stardom, mate?
He's lording it up over him, man.
Is he?
He's recorded it on his phone. He's recorded it on his phone. He was saying certain stuff and keeps playing it in earshot of me. I'm going to knock him out.
I don't think you were getting the full family support, mate. That's the messages I was getting sent. I felt as if you were a lone ranger, shall we say.
No, it was nice stuff he's been saying about his guys. I'm very proud of my kids. What I was going to say about the young boy, Wright, he was on for 20 minutes. I was very impressed with him. I was watching him, keeping an eye on him. I was showing my boy his movement. I like to talk to my lad and say, don't follow the ball. I mean, that's one of the worst things you can do when you analyse football is follow the ball. Try and watch players. See the way he peeled off his marker and just found that wee pocket of space, which allowed him to make them turns he was making. He'd done it 2 or 3 times where he collected the ball and made a turn, and I love the way he runs at players. And he got that through right in the centre of the goal and he passed it, and I was crying out for him to just go himself and finish it. But yeah, I was really impressed with it with the short time he was on the pitch.
We'll see where it goes, mate. You can't judge it.
Yeah, early days.
Anyway, we've been joined by Darren. Evening, Darren.
Good evening, panel. Very flat yesterday, must admit. I don't know why he played Zungu, that's beyond me, and why Davis and Jack was known for the start. Want to take Bridges' point in that one?
I don't know if it's so much playing Zungu. It's the fact that we didn't have Jack or Davis on the park. They seem to be our generals. Travel Rock.
I made my point earlier. I would rather it was Jack or Davis plus Zungu, and drop out Kamara or. I mean, Aribo's has been playing half decent and in that better forward position, but I just felt it was a wee bit unfair on Zungu yesterday, asking him to fill the role that we've got the way Jack and Davis play it. We all love them. We know the jobs at the day. I just felt it was a wee bit unfair on Zungu, asking him to go in there and do that job yesterday.
Hey, I'm not saying he had a good game. I don't think the whole team had a good game, Darren. You know, I think collectively we were poor, mate. Poor.
We were poor. We were poor till obviously the sub comes on. The subs changed that game completely, which was obviously good to see.
The subs drew the game 1 each, mate.
Aye. And
but did we not? Can I just ask the question? Did we not actually take Zungu off, and the subs came on?
The subs.
So that, I'm saying that there's a balance and a counterbalance there, isn't there? No, I'm not going to criticise Zungu too much, other than I thought he didn't have like most of the players, he didn't have a good game.
Our outfield players, forget about the goalie, he was outstanding for us yesterday. Our outfield players as a collective were poor yesterday. But the subs side, we played better football when they came on, but ultimately they drew the game 1 each.
Just another thing there. I mean, I was watching some of the comments that the lads are making there, and are talking about Ryan Kent. Ryan Kent's not kicked a ball for weeks. Taking Hadji off, I thought was a wee bit unfair. I mean, Kent, you knew that was a substitution the manager was going to make. He was going to take Hadji off rather than taking Kent off. And does Kent deserve to be getting kept on? Does Kent?
I can understand that and getting brought off when Roof's played that hero. Yeah,
I've got a theory on Hadji, by the way.
I've got lots of theories on Hadji.
I think the boy's got a brilliant attitude, but I think his attitude sometimes is too good. See, I think sometimes when the manager's looking at how to make a change, he's the easy option because he's not going to go on a straw, he's not going to kick off, he just comes off the pitch, which you want in a lot of ways, but sometimes you want a player to kick off a wee bit and stand up for themselves. And you can see that as well, because I'm not being funny, we've hardly seen Hadji hit a free kick. Now, Tav scored a good free kick a few weeks back against Motherwell, but since then he's missed a few and he's missed a couple of pens. So surely they should be saying to him, you know what, we're not having a good game here. Go on, Hadji, step forward and shows a bit of magic. And you actually seen Borna shoo him away, and Hadji just accepted it. He's got to be tougher there.
Did Hadji no score the free kick at was it Braga? He turned the game around, didn't he?
That was a great free kick. It kind of went off somebody's back, but I know you mean.
But there shouldn't be discussing who takes the positions for the positions on the park, mate. That should all be done after the park. Yeah? And certain areas of the pitch, you should know that's Tav, that's Borners. If it's further away, you might have somebody else decides to take it. That should all be done before you go on the pitch. At any level of football. You know who takes it for that side, who takes it for that side, and who takes whatever. You shouldn't be having people getting caught up in petty arguments on the pitch.
No, I get that. I think.
I don't know. I'm not sorry. I'm going to agree with you, but disagree with you, Ox. I think that it's up to the boys on the pitch to say, who fancies it, because in some games you just think, I'm not really on it. And I think Tav's done amazing. It's hard to come anywhere near criticising him this season. But sometimes you can be overconfident. And actually, do you know what? You're not having a good game. You've not had a good couple of games. So let somebody else have a go that feels a bit confident. I mean, in the judgment call.
That should then be decided before you go in the park. That's what the manager gets paid for.
Aye, but what if somebody like Tav, who wasn't having a good game, and what if Hadji is feeling is he's had a couple of good.
You'd had to let McGregor come up and take the free kicks as well. If it was better than
No, trust me, see, with the penalty yesterday, I wouldn't have been disappointed if it was Griggs that had walked up and hit that penalty. If we'd won a penalty yesterday,
the ball had above the net.
But
That's what it is.
I think we've got to watch. Look, we can't come on here, Darren, and say that we played well. I don't think that would be the right thing to do. But we're 21 points clear. We've got to remember that.
21 points clear. I was listening obviously elsewhere the night at 6 o'clock, and Mr. Keevins had turned around and said the league was won in January. The 2nd of January, the league was done and dusted. So, and then you get another caller coming on at Celtic saying folding like a pack of cards. Sorry, we're 21 points clear. You fucking idiot.
Oh. I said the same. I was on Facebook and I put my status up saying, well done to Hamilton, kept going to the end, deserved their point, more than deserved their point. And I says, but we're still 21 points clear. And then one of them, who's the lad who pops up on my Facebook every now and again, said, it's no 21 points, that's because you've played more games. So I just came back on my high horse, riding on the moral high ground, and said, I'll put it another way. We've only dropped 8 points, and the team that's closest to us have dropped 23. Does that sound better? I says, so whatever way you dress it up, we've done exceptional this season, still undefeated, and we're still riding high on top. It's not about getting complacent. It's about recognising where you are and taking stock of the situation. That's it.
Aye, all right, mate. Yeah, you have to reflect on where you are at times. Aye, well, they've got to win them by the Bridgeman. They always say you're better with the points in the bag, and Kilmarnock becomes a massive game for us.
Oh, absolutely. The next game. Biggest game of the season for sure.
Yeah,
and we've got another mountain to climb to make up for the wee bit setback we had at the weekend. That's it.
All right, we've been joined by Bob J. Evening, Bob J.
How you doing, lads? All right.
Good, Bob.
All right.
Hello.
Good.
Good.
Can you hear us, Bob J?
I can hear you, boys. I can hear you loud and clear. I'm just going to carry on from what everybody else is saying yesterday. Just flat, laborious, wasn't it good? But at the end of the day, football's all about a squad, and you would have thought that team we put in the park yesterday would have been good enough to beat Hamilton Lackeys, but as it proved, it wasn't. You can go through a game of football, as Gary says there, with 2 or 3 guys not on it, but when a whole team's not on it, well, it's a different ball game. But just have to take it on the chin, as we said. We never got beat. And there'll be a point gained the way McGregor played. He was brilliant, kept us in it. Again, didn't forget he kept us in it through the week as well, guys, with that save in the second half. But we are where we are. We're 21 points in the lead, and the game coming up at home against Kilmarnock Saturday. On we go.
Can I say, I think sometimes you don't realise, I think we're missing Morelos more than we thought we would.
Oh, we're missing him, all right, big time. Absolutely big time. Missing his movement up front, Hawks. I didn't think there was a lot of movement up front yesterday. The Boyerton's all right. I think he's okay at getting on the end of things, but as far as, moving it, just like Alfie does, gathers the ball, plays it wide, makes a nuisance of himself, he's great at that. So, welcome back, Alfie. When's he coming back? After the Killie game,
Yeah, after the Kilmarnock.
Aye. He can play in Europe, of course, and then we'll go him back after the Killie game.
It'll be nice and
so
fresh.
It's just all about going forward now.
It'll be nice and fresh for the European time.
Once again, What happened with Roof? Is there any word on Roof? Is this up tomorrow, is it? This case up tomorrow.
In the day, and I think the case is tomorrow, mate, yeah?
I got a decision tomorrow, yeah.
I believe so, mate. I'm sure that'll give you something to talk about.
Well, it was a bad day at the office yesterday, boys. I didn't expect us to be as poor as that. I thought we wouldn't have hammered them. I didn't think we were going to hammer them again yesterday, but I thought we would have done enough to get the win, and we nearly did. I was just thinking to lose a goal.
If their goal had played like our goal and you make save after save after save, you see, it's one of the days and they break up the park, score in the last minute. You see, it's just bad luck. But we've got to recognise we didn't play well as a collective, yeah?
But it still took the 94th minute to score the goal. Let's be clear. I know, and I know it's good that we're 21. I know, but it shows you how resilient we are, and I know everybody's giving Alan McGregor the plaudits. He's doing his job. That's what he's there to do. He's there to, and we've watched Griggsy for years pulling after they say, and I can understand his frustration that the strikers were extremely poor, but we were still 1-0 up. And we were into the injury time. And in fact, I think that when they scored the goal, it was probably beyond the 94th minute. So I'm not getting too despondent about the whole thing. And I'm not going to get... I know people are saying it's flat and all the rest of it, but come on. We nearly stole 3 points. How many times over the last few years have we watched that other lot stealing points? All right? Sometimes that's what happens. Not that when we watch Walter's team, stealing those games when you would go in, particularly playing against them, a proper smash and grab. That sometimes that works for you. And you walk away from there saying that's a sign of a good team. And unfortunately, we were seconds away. And one kick of the ball, that's all it took. Even the way it went in, it wasn't going to go in until it hit McGregor's leg, and then that diverted it into the net. Come on, we look at the way this team's played for us.
I'm not being hyper. But we're not being over the top with the criticism. We're only saying we're only commenting on what we've seen yesterday. We expected better. We're not perfect. Oh yeah, we can draw, we can get beat. That's football. As we say, like yesterday, Rangers were the whole side were poor. They were dire, mate. You've got to be honest. You've got to be honest about it. Fair play to Hamilton Lackeys. Hamilton Lackeys were excellent yesterday. They played to their strengths. We could have beat 3 or 4-1 yesterday. Easily.
Yeah.
What do we think the next? What do you think the Hamilton Accies next? They play Livingston during the week. How do you think they're going to get on then?
Good beat.
Well, I don't know.
Well, they'll get tanned.
Probably.
Oh, it's coming.
5.
Guys, I think that's the first time we've drew. They said that on the telly. That's the first time we've drew at Hamilton since the 50s, wasn't it? So, we play them 100 times, we'll win 99 times, right? And even with that squad that was out yesterday, the team that was out,
by the way, in the last 4 games against Hamilton, mate, they beat us once and drew us once.
Yeah.
Can I just say that in all honesty, we actually threw it away. We actually threw it away with the worst set of defenders at that moment in time. None of them could get the ball. None of them knew what to do with the ball if they would get it. And the goalkeeper, unfortunately, went underneath the goalkeeper and it hit his leg and went in. Other than that, they were good. They were good against us, and they were really up for the game. So hats off to them. They got everything they wanted. I think if they would have won, we couldn't argue really. But I'm arguing because we did absolutely hee-haw in the last half a minute.
Okay,
absolutely
all right, get yourselves a mute. We're going to have a tune.
Ever since I recall, I have followed football, and ingrained in my heart are the Rangers FC. Through good and the bad times, of happy or sad, it will always be Rangers for me. For when I was lost, I was led by the hand down the Paisley Road West. I will never forget that beautiful sight of the red, blue and white. From that day I'd be Rangers for life. And I vowed to my dad, if I would have a lad, I would show him the way, as he did on that day. And so here I stand with young Lyle by the hand, after walking down Paisley Road West. For when I was lost, I was led by the hand down the Paisley Road West. I will never forget that beautiful sight of the red, blue and white. From that day I'd be Rangers for life. that day I'd be Rangers for life. There's a great sense of pride that I feel deep inside as I'm watching the Jazz with my father and son. And it's sure safe to say at the end of the game, win or lose, we will all follow on. For when I was a lass, I was led by the hand down the Paisley Road west. I will never forget that beautiful sight of the red, blue, and white. From that day, I'd be Rangers for life. From that day, I'd be Rangers for life. From that day, I'd be Rangers for life. From that day, I'd be Rangers for life.
Well, thanks.
I was a lad, I was led by the... On yourself. Brilliant.
Right, I'm going to put things into perspective here. I wonder if the technical team can get Gary and Bob Ger back with some interference coming for the phone, so we had to drop the both of them. Bridgeman, Travel Rock, I'm going to put it to you this way, right? This is my view. Travel, you ready?
I'm ready.
Right, you're listening. And you, if I'm judging the performance on Sunday, it's a 4 out of 10. If I'm judging the performance overall this season, it's 9 out of 10. Where we are in Europe, where we are on the whole picture. If I'm judging my league performance, it might be even 9.5 out of 10.
Hello.
Yeah, Bob, Gary.
I'm back.
Yeah, sorry, we were getting noise for the phone, so we had to drop it to you boys. All right, sorry about that.
Okay, mate. No problem.
I thought I hadn't put myself on mute.
You might know.
I was in the naughty corner.
You might know, done, and you've done that before. Right, I'm not saying is, if I'm judging Sunday's performance, it's 4 out of 10. If I'm judging the overall season, it's maybe 9 out of 10. Take one off for a blip against St Mirren. If I'm judging my league performances, it might be even 9.5 out of 10. 4 draws, that's all we've had in the league season. Is that fair, Travel Rock?
Aye, and I think that's a good summary of it. I think we've been outstanding over the season in the league and in Europe, obviously. But the league's a big thing for us all this year. I think that's fair. We need to remember that about a team that they've delivered for us in the league. So let's not get too hysterical about what happened yesterday. I actually think a lot of us are maybe just we're just so desperate for it to get it over the line that we just want to keep picking up 3 points, and then you know what? See once we've got that league, they can play 11 Zungus. Once we've got the league in the bag, because I don't give a monkeys about this Invincibles. I think it's just a desperation for everybody to get the league sorted.
You did make me laugh when you said Zungu's a big fella. You said the same about Jason Holt.
You're right.
It's quite funny, that actually. That's quite funny.
How many league fixtures have we got left now, Ox?
10.
How many league? We're doing the magic 10 anyway.
10, mate. 10. Right, Bridge.
10.
Is that fair with that scoring? Do you understand where I'm coming from?
Oh, yes. Absolutely, pal. Absolutely. Yeah. When I do my scoring, it's my scoring. No. As far as I'm concerned, with the figures you said, I'm happy with them.
Did you hear, Gary? Did that make sense to you?
Yeah. No, I agree. Listen, we're Rangers fans. We're spoiled in a lot of ways, and it does wind me up. But I get the psychology behind it. A draw is a disaster, and when it comes to our club. But you have to keep your feet grounded. If you'd have turned round at the start of the season and told us that we'd draw this Hamilton game, people would be uproar. But if you turned around and said you'll draw this Hamilton game, but you'll be 21 points clear, and it'll be the only, you'll still be unbeaten. It'll be only the fourth game you've drawn all season. You'd have taken it. Do you know what I mean?
I'd have said you were mad.
Exactly. So you just take stock, man. Do you know what I mean? See when you're popping them smoke grenades, right? And the tunes are on, and it's welcome to the party, and everybody's running about with Chris Boyd masks on, hugging each other. Honestly, we're nearly there. Do you know what I mean? And as I said to you, that game yesterday, it's 2 points dropped, but it's more important how they respond to the next game. That's it.
Okay, we've been joined by Blue Star. Evening, Blue Star.
Evening, Ox. Evening, panel.
Aye, Blue Star.
Oh, I say to you, when we were talking about the game beforehand, you said to me one of the times, well, Stevie, he's only dropping really one player in the midfield. And I says to you then, I says, well, he only dropped two players when we played St Mirren. I says, and look what happened to the team. Now, I get what Travel Rug's saying, but I disagree with him. I think he's wrong. I think he's 100% wrong. In the last 7 games, bar the Ross County game, you got it bang on when you started the show in the night. Out of these 7 games, how many of them would you say we played well? You couldn't name one. Because we didn't. We got results, but we've not played well.
Now, it's
not a scattergun effect. What I'm saying to you is we're 21 points clear, of course we are. But the fact of the matter is, when I see my manager, and certainly when I see my goalkeeper, as angry as what they were, that makes me feel happy inside, because it shows me that they were the same as me. They certainly weren't happy. We didn't deserve anything for that game yesterday. We stole a point. That's the fact. We stole a point. So if you look at it from that point of view, we got a point that we were never going to get, because we didn't score the goal, remember. That bounced off one of their players. The same as Travel Rug says, it took them at the 95th minute to score theirs. Fact of the matter is, we were never scoring a goal yesterday. We weren't good enough. We had one player out of 11 that you could give more than pass marks to, and that was our goalkeeper. It's not a scattergun effect. In the last 7 games, we've played half decent in one game. The other 6, we've took up the results, but we've not been playing well. We're getting away with it simply because of the amount of the points that we are in front. If we weren't that amount of points in front, let me tell you, Ox, you included, we'd all be cracking up now, because we know our team's not playing great now. That's the facts.
I'm a very positive person, as you know.
Absolutely, Ox. It's not a scattergun. All I'm saying is, for the last half dozen games or so, we can't kid ourselves on. Our team's not been playing well. We haven't been.
They've set standards that they've no matched, mate. If that's
absolutely, and you got it right at the start when you say we've certainly not been scoring goals, because we haven't.
Yeah. Can I come in, Ox?
And you go, Bridgman.
Blue Star. I just want to say to you, their goal went in off our keeper. That ball was going past the post. I was going to run along past the post.
But that's
right. And our goal went in.
I know, but I'm just trying to say to you, their goal went in off one of their players, and our goal went in off their players. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Peachy peachy.
But what I'm saying is, we're getting away with it simply because we are that amount of points in front, and thank goodness we are. But in the last half dozen games, guys, we've not been playing well at all. We haven't.
But you keep mentioning this, Blue Star. We've beaten in these last half dozen games that you're talking about. We've beaten Celtic, Aberdeen, Hibernian, Rangers, Ross County. Fair enough. We would expect us to go out and beat Ross County. I think we all went into this part of the season thinking, this is such an important part of the season. We need to go out and pick up points here and prove that we can do this. And we have done it. And fair enough, we might not be going out and blowing teams away 5-0. But ultimately, we are going out and beating teams. And most of the time, we're no losing goals. We are a strong unit. We are a good team, and I don't care if we don't play to Blue Stars' high standards for the rest of the season. See, as long as we keep going out there, 3 points, 3 points, 3 points, and fair enough, we might be really unfortunate and let a team score in the 94th minute injury time to get a point. I'll take that, because we have done, for the majority of that game, we done what we needed to do. We kept them out, we scored a goal, and it doesn't matter to me whether it goes in off of somebody's backside, it goes in off of an opposing player. We are getting over the line in games, and unfortunately yesterday we just had a wee bit of bad misfortune. All right, we didn't play well and we could have defended better, but there was a bit of luck for the way Hamilton got that goal. And let's not get away from it. We are a good team, and we've proved all year long we're a good team, and we should be backing that team.
Absolutely.
And no saying
Totally agree with you, Travelog. I'm not saying we're not a good team, but I don't kid myself on by turning around and saying we picked up a point and it's fine because we're 21 points in front. You've got to weigh it up. Our manager and our goalkeeper were the only two that got interviewed yesterday, and make no mistake, we all know he was absolutely raging because he couldn't dress it up. We didn't deserve a point. You can dress it up any way you want. Hamilton should have won the game, hands down.
Aye.
Hello, we've been joined by a caller. Evening, caller. How you doing, caller? Speak, or forever hold your peace. No. And you come, Bob, yeah.
The league's a marathon, boys. It's a marathon. And, to ask people who perform at the top of their game week after week after week, it's a difficult thing to do. As you say, your statistics are spot on, by the way. I couldn't agree more. And we've got ourselves into a 21-point lead. We're a hard sell, the Rangers supporter. We dropped 2 points on a plastic pitch in horrendous weather conditions, and the team doesn't play well. And we're all moaning. We're all getting and getting and all the rest of it. We're a hard sell, the Rangers support.
But we're honest, mate.
Wow.
We couldn't come on here. We played well yesterday, could we?
No, we never played well. Absolutely no. But as the boys are saying, we never got beat. We picked up a point, 21 points. You can. I don't care about the rest of you. Coming in this, I'll hit you with this question. Do you believe there's a hint of paranoia in there that Celtic can turn this around?
No,
I've been reading snippets in the paper. I know, but I've been reading snippets in the paper, and wee comments and stuff, and there's a lot of them believe they think they can turn this around. No,
is that Rangers supporters you're speaking about, Bob Jeff, or them?
Well,
that was
Have they signed Paul Daniels?
Aye, well, there you go. But, this is it. What I'm saying is, you drop 2 points and suddenly the world comes in.
Can I ask you a question? Can I return the question to you, Bob Jeff? Do you think we're going to drop the band here?
No chance.
Right, that's it. Good man.
Not at all.
But Bridge, I'm sorry, Bridge, but I cannot. I mean, I've not went out and bought the streamers and the fireworks and everything just yet, and I won't, because there's just so much.
You better hurry up, mate.
We're in a bad way. We're in a bad. No, but come on, just let us get it out of the line, and I'm not going to think about it until we've sat there and we're in that game where we know it's just one victory.
A nice 55 flag, mate.
That's exactly how we all feel, really. We're just desperate to get there,
Of course we are, yes.
You'll be able to use it for your next birthday as well.
Fox, can I add a script?
On you go, Bob, before I think Jim's coming to join. What?
Right. Just 2 seconds. I come on Rangers radio, regularly, and I love it. It's great. It's brilliant. But my discussion about Rangers doesn't finish with Rangers radio. Out I go with the 2 famous dogs of mine. One goes to the phone and on to my brother. And time after time recently, in recent seasons, I've turned around and said to them, don't let Celtic get 5 or 6 or 7 points away from you, because you'll never catch them. And he wholeheartedly agrees with me. We'll never catch them. Well, I've got news for them all, these paranoid people. Rangers have 21 points in front of you. 21 points with 10 games to go. So I'm afraid there's a big bold statement. You're not going to catch us. End of. That's what I wanted to say. Carry on, lads. Whether you agree with it or not. I'm sure you do.
Could have put it nicer myself. Anyway, we've been joined by the ref watch, Jim 115. How we
Jim
doing, Jim
115. How are you doing, Jim?
No bad. Somewhere in the night, Barry, yeah.
That's unbelievable.
Are you with your summit and your thoughts on running, mate?
Oh, no, I'm not running the night. I'm actually working, by the way, and I nearly crashed my motor there, by the way. Great points tonight again, but one I couldn't understand there. Big man, I agree with you what you're saying and all the rest of it, but I don't know how you can turn on and say we're getting away with it because they were 21 points ahead. How does that work? That doesn't work with me. How do you work that one out? We're getting away with it because we're 21 points ahead? That's not what I said, Jim. You did. No, what I'm trying to say is, if we hadn't been 21 points, 21 points ahead, we'd all be cracking up. That's what I'm saying.
No, you're just after saying that's what you were trying to say, but you said we were getting away with it because we're 21 points ahead, and I'm asking you, how do you work that one out?
I'll just tell you.
Listen,
if we weren't 21 points, if we weren't 21 points ahead,
right, children.
I'm going with our manager yesterday. He was absolutely fuming, so much so that's one of the least times that you've seen him getting interviewed where he didn't even want to be getting an interview. He was raging because the way they're looking at it is, these teams that we're playing now are the ones that we should be picking up the points and getting it out and done with. That's it. It's the same as us all. We want it done and dusted. But yesterday was just a downfall simply because we really were that bad. I mean, there was nobody in our team played well apart from our goalkeeper.
But I still don't get away with how you say we're getting away with it because they're 21 points ahead. They're 21 points ahead.
On you go, Bridge.
I was just going to say, Jim, I think what he's meaning is just as well, we've got 21 points ahead than now. Other than that result would have been really, really poor. You know, that's all. I think
the result against Motherwell and game up in the dick.
And the reaction of the Rangers fans would have been even worse if it was a closer tie.
Bridge, I agree with that. Bridge, I agree with you, and I think that's exactly what he is saying. But the fact of the matter is, we are 21 points ahead.
Of course we are.
You know what I mean? Every team.
And by the way, we didn't get that by accident.
No, I know that, but every team has a wee dip in the season. Some dips are worse than others, right? And this is our dip. But if you're telling me that our dip's going to result in us dropping 4 points over the course of 7 games, and that's your dip, I'll take that dip.
I think the learning point is in. I think the big point for me is obviously we can't play Morelos. You can't play him. He's suspended or injured. That's part of football. Defoe was injured yesterday. Still injured. I think most people wanted that into play, but what we need. There's one of the two guys. If we need them on the park. I don't think our team can afford to have Ryan Jack and Stephen Davis no on the park. That's which became obvious.
100%.
I think Davis played 12 games in a row, and Jack was injured, and then the two of them don't play. And maybe the gaffer was a wee bit annoyed with himself. Was I unhappy with the
100%
team?
Ox.
Was I unhappy with the team? It wouldn't have been the team I would have picked. Nanie's got the team right, but like Stevie G, I did think he had enough to beat Hamilton. Was that fair, Jim?
Oh, big time, he should have had enough. I mean, what I'm more angry about than anything else is that's 4 points for your shit to the team at the bottom of the league. And maybe I'm being too hard. To me, as a Rangers fan, that's not acceptable. I don't think it's acceptable, even how far they're ahead, that we should be dropping points to the bottom of the league.
But we did take 9 points off of the teams that sit in second, third and fourth.
That's correct. But we still shouldn't be dropping points to the teams at the bottom of the league.
I agree with you, but that's just as somebody said, if you offered me over sitting back in the run up to the playing against that lot, if you'd have said, right, over the next 7 games you're going to drop 4 points, I would have took that. But I would have probably said, we're going to drop them against them and Aberdeen. I would never expect it against Motherwell or
I think where it is with the other two. I think we're all just at the stage where we are now. We want this wrapped up. That's where we are, isn't it?
You better believe it.
100%.
Big time.
Guys, can I come in for a second?
On you go, Gary.
I think it's just cabin fever. That's where we're getting at now, right?
By the way, Gary, that's a good point. maybe some of these boys that playing for our team, I think we forget how inexperienced in reality Aribo and Kamara are. I know they're internationals, but they're relatively young men with a lot of pressure on them. Kent, Hadji, young men. Itten, young guy. So Zungu's a bit older than them, but there was no experience in the front five there yesterday, maybe, as far as age goes. So maybe are they mentally fatigued because of the whole this? They played a lot of games. Every one of them, they played a lot of games in Europe, and the circumstances they're playing the games in, because they can't go and see their families let off steam. So that's all they've got. So maybe the pressure's building, and hopefully we can release a bit of that pressure with a good result against Kilmarnock on Sunday. Gary, Saturday.
I was going to say as well that this boy Zungu's come in, right? He's not a young boy. He's a 28-year-old full international player. He wants to play football. So do you honestly think Monday to Friday he's just going to sit in his horns and he'll be banging on Gerrard's door politely and respectfully, but he'll be saying, I want to start. He'll have been saying that for weeks now. I want to start. So Gerrard's probably looked at him and went, right, we're playing bottom of the league. So I'm going to put the boy in, give him his chance, give him a start, see how he gets on. And it's came back and bit me in the arse, to be honest with you. And it's annoyed him a wee bit, the fact that...
My understanding from Murray Park is, Auchenhow, mate, there'll be nobody banging on Gerrard's door and asking for a start. The last one to do that's new playing with Aberdeen.
I don't mean that. No, I don't mean that. But I don't think Gerrard.
He might be pushing for a start by his performances.
But no banging on somebody's door. That's a use of words. But you know what I mean. I don't think Gerrard would be happy if somebody was just happy to do nothing. He wants players that are hungry, and maybe Zungu's been hungry, and he's like, right, I'm going to give the boy his chance, and he's not. Zungu wasn't bad. The whole team wasn't good. But Gerrard maybe came back and bit him a wee bit, and maybe he's a wee bit upset because players haven't grasped that opportunity. He has to look at it, right? Ryan Jack, the reason we've not been good for the last 7 games because Ryan Jack hasn't been there. He believe it or not, he's the picture hook that team hangs at.
No.
Oh. Do you know what I mean? So if he's not there, we don't play well. The next best person to fill his shoes is Steve Davis, and he's played a lot of football the last couple of months. So he didn't play both of them, and it didn't work.
There's a reason. You can understand that. Go to Blue Star with us, and then I'll go to travel. Blue Star, you can understand the rationale for not playing Davis and Jack yesterday.
Absolutely, Ox.
Yeah.
Absolutely, because we spoke about it before the game, sure. Jack's been out injured, so he's obviously trying to watch him, especially on the plastic pitches. And Davis is the oldest guy apart from McGregor in our whole squad, so he's trying to give him a wee bit of a rest, and so he should be able to, because we're playing the bottom team in the league. Ox, is there a case of just whilst we're touching on this, is that a case of just what you've said there? See, because he left day 2 out, and remember what Travel and that said, obviously Jack's not been in the last 6-7 games, but is it a case of because he left the 2 of them out, the cog in the wheel, that sort of mixed up the rest of the team? That shouldn't happen either, because let's be honest, you said it yourself, Kamara and Aribo, even they two were stinking yesterday. So how is it whenever he brought Davis and Jack on that the team automatically looked totally different? You know what I mean? But you're not going to tell me that they two are world class that way, that the minute they come on the park the whole team totally changes, and yet that's exactly what happened.
But I think it maybe told us that Zungu's not going to be the player that will fill in that position there.
Oh,
I think
definitely.
That demonstrated that if Zungu has got a future, and I'm hoping he gets more opportunities between now and the end of the season, then I think it's going to be in a different role in the midfield. And maybe this boy for Bournemouth that he's signed he's maybe get thoughts or plans on him, or it could be that it's Stephen Kelly, or he might already have the third person that's going to be that driving force that we've got there. I don't know who it could be, but I think maybe what it's demonstrated is that it's not going to be Zungu, and I don't think that is Zungu's game. I think he's more an aggressive. I like to see him running with the ball at his feet, and he's not going to be the dictator, the quarterback type player that we seem to have with. And also, let's not forget, Ryan Jack seems to do a lot of work for our the captain and right back that nobody seems to have mentioned. I've give you an hour and a half, Ox, and you've still not mentioned about how bad Tavernier's been recently.
Yeah.
I think you did, mate. I think you did.
Not enough for me. I've had to come over here and eat humble pie about how good he's been this season. So,
Travel Rug, it was mentioned a number of times.
I just thought it was that. It was exceptionally weird how the minute the manager brought Davis and Jack on, it was like a switch. I mean, our whole team automatically started playing better.
I know. I wonder if it's a thing with the players as well. That there's a psychological thing as well. Maybe it just settles them down. It's I don't know, but we did with the whole complexion of the game changed, didn't it?
Without a doubt, yeah.
Listen, they're two. Well, we know we missed Jack, but the results, we got good results without Jack in the team.
But we had Davis.
Aye, and that's
we had Davis, and I think you mentioned it earlier on. The last game where we went with either Jack or Davis, I think, was St Mirren. And we've seen what happened then, and I'm a wee bit disappointed in the manager. I think he's been absolutely amazing this season, but I'm a wee bit disappointed because he admitted that he made a mistake against St Mirren, and he's come out and made the same mistake.
When he was angry, he was also angry with himself because he sets high standards.
Of course,
so does he know? Is that him admitting then that he knows that he can maybe drop one of the two? But he certainly can't drop the two of them together. Because let's be honest here, that was the bottom team in the league. It's not as if it was one of the top teams. So you're saying yourself, and it was also against St Mirren as well, that you put Zungu in and dropped two. So you've got to say to yourself, well, if you're dropping the two of them in the midfield, it's obviously just too much.
Well, we never dropped Jack. Jack was
no, but you know what I mean. He wasn't playing,
But here's the other thing as well. Davis there's been no drop off in Davis's play. So if you're worried about Ryan Jack coming back for injury, playing a plastic pitch, get the wee Rolls Royce in there because he's no dropped off. He's kept that same level, and I think
his defence. Before I bring JFK in, and his defence, and I'll go to Bob Gia with this. He must have thought he'd enough to see if Hamilton yesterday on the pitch.
Absolutely.
Bob Gia. Your name's Blue Star.
Sorry.
Right, you come, Bob Gia.
He'll be better looking than me, that's for certain. When I've seen the team yesterday, well, I thought, he's got enough on the part. I was actually looking forward to seeing Zungu starting. I mean, I feel there's a lot of us here putting on Zungu, and it's no fair, It's no fair. The boy was just at the same level as everybody else yesterday, but not the team on the park yesterday should have been good enough to dispose of Hamilton Academicals. And it was seconds off he did it. Let's be honest. As he said, I mean, it was deja vu with St Mirren. A close ball came in and we lost a goal. But it's coming up to the business end of the season, boys, and I'm afraid everybody will need to be up for it now. Here we go, 10 fixtures left in the league. We've got Europe, and I don't know what they're going to do with the Scottish Cup. Frankly, I didn't care. I want to win the league.
I think they're going to have a raffle this year, same as last year, mate.
Have a raffle?
Aye, same as last
year. What for? Offer it all. Aye. But no, I mean, this is going to be the business end of the season, and people have not been doing it. Will need to start doing it. Like the aforementioned Taverner, Kent, Zungu, etc. They'll all need to start doing it. Everybody will need to be up for it because it's there for us.
See the next five league games off.
Just wait, mate. You know your name. Yeah, we'll be going. We're just waiting for JFK, who's sitting patiently waiting to come in and join us. JFK.
Good evening, my good friends. How are you all doing?
Right, Jimmy.
Okay, mate. Good evening.
How you doing, Bob? Good to hear Travel in there. How you doing, Travel?
All the better for hearing you, and Jimmy. I'm sure you'll back me up.
Listen to some of the stuff I've been hearing on different forums and that, and reading it, and what I've been hearing for you guys tonight. I'm the same as Bob G and the rest. I think when the gaffer named his team, we all thought that was a team that was more than capable of beating Hamilton Accies. But look, it was what it was. There's been a lot of silliness said elsewhere about it. You know, the manager put his horn up and said, I think I might have made a mistake. Let's get on with the next game, guys. We can critique it all we want, which is good. But I think maybe he thought that the type of park, Davis's legs might have been a wee bit weary. We don't know what's happening in training, obviously. Zungu's had his chance. For me, he's been an impact sub, which he's not done all that great even as an impact sub. Itten's proved to me that I've always said at the start of my bottom, I wasn't really, the jury's out with me for Itten. He's proved that as a starter, he's not all that, but I think they're looking for. So the manager knows what he's got today. But, you know, it all comes down to, and I don't want to say elephant in the room, but I mean, Alfredo Morelos needs to take a look at himself. You know, because that type of game yesterday, we missed a player like Alfredo Morelos, who was hungry for the ball and helps others come into the game. And so, for me, that's the big thing, you know. So we can all point fingers now. But look, it's 21 points still there, guys. And anybody that heard my rant on Facebook today, you know, keep the faith. For goodness sake, keep the faith, man. I mean, we're 21 points ahead and it's still there.
Catty comments was the feedback I got. Is this true, Mr. Miller?
About me?
Yeah, some catty comments. Is this true on that?
From me or at me?
At you. Is this true?
Oh, there was a few people who told me to grow up, blah, blah, blah. But you know what?
You know where they can go, didn't you?
Aye, I know that. We got to say it's a family show. But look, I'm thick-skinned in it, and I'm a die in the Will Blue Rose, the same as all you guys. Listen to Trabo there and that. You know, it is what it is on the day. The team never performed. Sitting there watching this 1-1, nothing with a minute to go, thinking, my God, we've stole this. What a steal this is. We were ranked rotten. So it's good to critique the players. I think now he's starting to find out the big-time players and the big-time Charlies. And I think some of the big-time Charlies were on the park yesterday.
Jimmy, would you play your strongest team in the next 5 league games, like I would?
Absolutely.
Yes, I agree with you, mate.
Play the strongest team and let's go to the puddle drinkers midden and win it there, and that would be great. Play the full team. I've heard people talk about Europe. Europe's a bonus for me. It'd be great to do well in Europe, but look, we're all craving for this title, and it's not to stop them doing what they call 10. It's to stop them doing 9, because last season was a Zoom title. So I just want to win this title more than anything. I would go along and say, as far as I'm concerned, in my time to go to see the Rangers, it's probably up there with the best title I've ever won.
Well,
a few.
Well, this journey will definitely be right. I want to just change the subject. Nobody's really mentioned them, so I'll go to Travel Rock first, then I'll go to Gary. The boy Wright, come on, we've seen him for the first time. Like a lot of people in their debut. Somebody at the show on. Travel Rock, he was neat and tidy. Showed some touches, yeah?
Yeah, he was, and he was moving around. He was getting into spaces. He was. He looks as if it's a ideal. Bridge. He looks a kind of ideal for the way that we play up front. I think he could quite easily slot in there and replace Hadji or replace Kent. He was getting about and he's got a nice touch, and he seemed to have a bit of rapport with some of the players already. Again, he came on and he just added to Jack and Davis coming on and making a difference. We looked a lot more busy up front when he was there, and he was linking up well. So very, very short cameo, but the signs are decent. The signs are decent. Would I be disappointed if he named him in the starting lineup on Saturday against Kilmarnock? No, I wouldn't be bothered. I'd be quite happy with that, because at the moment, particularly Ryan Kent, he needs to be shown more. So the boy Wright came on and seemed to get involved more than what Ryan Kent was in the full game against Hamilton.
Gary, and then Bridgman. He's finished with his bird.
Aye, very similar. I said to you earlier, mate. I was quite impressed with the boy when he came on. It's his debut for a big club after a big move. He could have been forgiven for hiding a wee bit, but he always showed for the ball. He always found a wee pocket of space, picked the ball up, confident, good turning, ran at players. I was a wee bit frustrated when he got through on goal, and he had one player to beat, and he could have found a yard and had a shot, but he kind of put it to his right, and it broke down. But the way he turned the boy to create that opportunity was brilliant. The only thing that would be concerning if we're talking about starting our strongest players is, does he know the system yet? So does he know his starting position, out of possession and stuff like that? I don't think he's fully up to speed with that yet. Well, he won't be because he's only been with the club a week. So
okay.
I was impressed.
First impressions, Poster.
I was quite impressed with his movement. As the boys said, he was good at picking up the kind of pockets of space. Again, the one movement is thing we just said there. You were expecting him to shoot, and he kind of didn't, but certainly for his movement, and he's laying the ball off, and his touch looked real good. I mean, our manager, one thing you've got to say about Stevie G is guys that he's bringing in, 99.9% of them, we've not heard of most of them. But when he's bringing them in, they're all fitting into our system. Having says that, we're on about Zungu. But as Travel Rognat says, maybe that's no his best position where he was played. And as I say, the guy's just he's not had enough games. But certainly right, when the bloke came on, he's pockets of space and he's touch and everything. He certainly looked accomplished on the ball.
Are you back with us, Bridge?
Pal, I'm.
Right,
that birthday man was shouting and bawling at me.
We heard, mate. We heard everybody.
I can't believe it. I can't believe the pressure I'm under.
Well, listen, mate, if it goes to court, if you need a witness, I'm your man.
Oh, I'll just listen to Rangers radio. They'll get it sorted. Now, can I just say I was mightily impressed with the young Mr. Wright. I thought looks as if he's going to do well for Rangers and for himself, of course. And now he is a permanent. I would love to have seen on last night's game. I think we could have done with a centre half. We were discussing last week that would we play Helander or would we play Balogun? And most of us thought they should play Helander because he is, but I don't think we did him any favours on that pitch, to be honest. However, I think young Wright, a really good player, some nice touches. We've seen that with Aberdeen when he's playing with Aberdeen. He's just some nice touches. I don't think he's the greatest goal scorer in the whole world, but I think he'll get himself into some nice positions, particularly when he's playing with Rangers and he's a bit on form and the rest of us are on form. He should now get a wee total of goals. Given the chance. Good player.
Bob Chair and then GFK.
I would just reiterate what the boys said. I was quite impressed with Scott Wright. To be able to get the ball down on the deck and play it. He can dribble, he can pass, he can move. Yeah, I watched them on YouTube. All right, well, they're all great looking on there, but yeah, he looks more than a decent player to me. In fact, I'm no Gerrard or the manager of Rangers, obviously, but I would give the boy the number 7 jersey on Saturday, start him out on the right at the expense of Hadji. I'm not being hard on Hadji. He's been doing all right lately, but I would drop him and I'd put Wright in and give it a try there. I think he's worth a start on Saturday. What do you think? You agree?
Oh, that's a good point. I'll take that run after GFK. He might expand on that, GFK.
I think he's going to be a good signing, mate. I didn't know much about him, obviously, only seen what we saw against us. But I decided when we'd signed him, I watched a live game. I don't usually watch any live games apart from the Gers. But I watched the live game. I can't remember who it was against a couple of weeks ago, and he put himself about well. That was my disappointment about yesterday. I don't think it was good enough time yesterday. I'd like to have seen Hadji come off the same as Bob said there, and I'd like to have seen maybe give the last half hour of the game because it showed a wee bit of spark, and it was quite very unselfish, and he should have been selfish. I thought he should have a dig when he had a chance. He had a chance of shot yesterday, and I thought have a dig, but the boy wasn't. He just decided to square it. But no, I think it'll be a good acquisition, and yeah, I would start him. I would drop Hadji.
Well, what about Kent? Is nobody seems to be mentioning Kent? Is nobody want to drop him for a game? Are we? I mean, who?
The trouble is, none of them seem, unless you play a Rebo there, mate, nobody else, he seems to have that position at the moment. Everybody else is more playing on the right.
I know, but
on the left. I don't know if Hadji, obviously you could take Hadji there, who can kick with both feet, but you're right, Kent's getting a bit of free pass. You know, as far as criticism or getting drops concerned. You know?
Or getting substituted.
Aye.
See,
Well,
I mean,
I think if you look at him, mate, he has been in the hook quite often, mate. He has been. Kent, he's been subbed quite a lot, mate. He's been took off quite a bit. You'd be surprised. I bet if you checked it out. But he has, again, like the rest of them, he never played well. You know, on Sunday, brah. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Is this Leeds United thing turned his heat off?
No, I don't think so, mate. I wouldn't have thought so, mate. I wouldn't have thought so.
Okay, when we're talking about Itten, do you think Itten is better with a Roof or a Defoe beside him, as opposed to being that player up there? See the way that Alfredo can lead the line and be the one that's the focal point and dragging centres everywhere. But that Itten looked uncomfortable with that yesterday. Do you think he's probably better as a partner, and having another striker up there with him?
I think it'd be a lot better if he got them decent service for a start.
That's for sure.
GFK, I don't think he get much service yesterday.
No, there was no service at all for him at all. That's what I'm saying about. We really missed Alfredo yesterday. We didn't have. I mean, it's not that type of player who'll come back looking for an Oxshire. Whereas, but Alfredo does. He comes back and helps in midfield, and if he sees any scraps, he'll pick him up and try and drive his own. So, for me, he can't play him as a lone striker. And I think that was a boo-boo yesterday.
But also, JFK, there are two fullbacks who have been putting in 10, 12 crosses each every game. I don't think it was a cross put in the box apart from when Borna put that one in we scored for.
No, you're right. 100% right.
The service was poor. Gary?
Yep.
Aye. Listen, the fullbacks were off it yesterday, but that's because the midfield was off it. Itten wasn't on it yesterday, but because the fullbacks, it was all ties in together, guys. The team just wasn't at it. It just wasn't ticking. There was no flame. There was no spark. What I'm going to say about Kent's one of the. He frustrates me so much because he's guilty of one of the things that annoys me immensely on a football pitch, and it's being guilty of playing pedestrian football. See, when he puts a pass, when he passes the ball, right? He played a couple of passes, one got cut out, and another one he played went with a second-class stamp on it. He doesn't zip the ball. Honestly, his passing's, it's got the speed of the Titanic. Honestly, it's so slow to watch, and it's almost like, I want the ball, I can't have the ball, I've got to pass it, and it's like a half-assed effort passing the ball, and it frustrates me when I watch him. And watch him next time you watch Kent playing, watch how he passes the ball. It's so slow and laborious.
But Gary, I know what you're saying. It can be frustrating, but to be fair to Kent, he will be the next person that stands there to get the ball next. He will always show for the ball, and I'm finding it bad criticising him and saying he should be the one that's dropped or getting substituted. But he can be such a frustrating player. But to the same point, he will always show up wanting the ball next time, won't he?
Aye. Listen, I'm not going to sit here and say Kent's a shocking player just because of the speed he passes the ball. He's a professional football player and I'm not. So he does something right where I don't. So who am I to criticise him? But it's only things that I watch. I think I know the game to a decent level. And it's one of them things where, can nobody else see that? Can Gerrard not see that? Do you know what I mean? And can Kent not self-criticise himself on the pitch? In fact, there's somebody on the pitch, Tav, or what one of the other senior players not saying to him. Do you know what I mean? It's just little things, because that kind of breeds through the team. Whereas, sometimes on a pitch, where were the leaders yesterday putting a fire up people's backsides? You just didn't see it. So I think that's what we were missing yesterday, where You know, Andy McGregor would probably try to do it, but it was too far back.
The leader was too busy trying to save all these shots. That's what the leader was doing.
Outfield players were on the park yesterday. Tav and Golston, they've led us all season. They've got to be fair. You know,
listen, Ox, you're right. We don't want to be too critical. It's just, it is a bit of a shock result. You're playing bottom of the league. Straight away, as soon as the team sheet came out, I was thinking, oh, wait a minute, Jack and Davis only playing. All right, we'll wait and see how we go on. Now, we're 5 seconds away for us turning around and saying, brilliant result, grinding at results, not a great performance, but we move on to the next game. You're 5 seconds away for saying that exact sentence.
Aye.
Right? And the fact is, we got found out. And you know, Gerrard has a job today. It's not just win the next game. You know, that he says that to the players, he says that to us, he says that to the camera, but he's got a bigger job today. He's got to furnish that team and keep the cogs oiled, keep the cogs greased, keep the big machine moving. So he's got to constantly be looking at, right, who's my next? Who does replace Davis? Because I'll tell you now, Davis is a Rolls Royce, as somebody said earlier, but he's not going to gradually slow down. He's going to hit a brick wall at some point.
He's a vintage Rolls Royce.
Aye, he is, but the way he plays football and the age that he's at, his gears are just going to come to a grinding halt at some point. I hope it's a long way in the future. But like you said the other day, he won't steal a wage off anybody, so he gets given a year's contract next year. If he's 10 games in and he can't keep up with the young whippets in the pitch, he'll turn around to Gerrard and say, I'm done, right? And Gerrard needs to have somebody else that can come in and take his place in that squad. And that's what he was saying yesterday.
There's no many Stephen Davises there, I think.
No, there's no, but he needs to find somebody that can fill that hole to a level that can perform.
I think he's there. He's beside him on the bench yesterday. It's getting the rest to play. Bridgeman.
Sorry, are you saying that Stephen Davis may run out of legs very soon?
No, Gary made the point that the older players, part of Gerrard's job is to replace them. Davis is 36. Yes, indeed. You know, he's got to look at that. And obviously, we don't know how far. Davis might be retired. We don't know. He might say, this season, I'm going out in the high. We never know. You know, but they've always... The Rangers manager should be always looking to replace players because that's his job. Bridgeman.
I think that Stephen Davis will be there next season. May even get him on a 2-year contract to keep him there because he's a great influence on the other players. I'm not saying he's going to play every single game. So you're back to the wee problem we've been speaking about today. When Davis came on, Davis was good. When you look at Davis playing, he's nearly every game he plays very, very well. Nobody tries to catch him because he just cruises. If somebody wants to catch him, they're going to boot him or something like that, you know, that kind of thing. Very, very rarely he makes mistakes. Really quality player. So in my opinion, he will be there next season, providing he's fit, of course. I'm not trying to say anything. And I think we would probably offer him a 2-year contract. That's what I think. I hope so, because I think he is an outstanding player, and he will. If we manage to get through this and get into the European Champions League, we were going to look for someone like Stephen Davis to carry us over there, because he'll need it. He'll need to do it. He's brilliant.
Oh, let's stop talking about it. The fear of losing Stephen Davis is too much. I can't take it.
Listen, it's something we have to face up to, because...
but it could be 5 years away. It might be this summer, but it could be 5 years away. Yes, mate.
That was a great tribute you paid to Steve Davis there, Bridge. I think, in a shorter version, I think Steve Davis could play in any midfield in Europe. And there's only one player I've seen that I rated higher than him, and that was Pirlo. So there you go. There's an accolade for Steve. Stephen Davis is a great player. He's proved it week in, week out. He proved it in the Premiership. Look at his international caps record. There's no more consistent player plays the game. And we're lucky to have him at Ibrox. And Steve Davis will be here next year. So that's my point on it.
See, on a similar point, what about our goalkeeper? I can't believe he didn't play.
Did you see the Liverpool goalkeeper yesterday?
In the top half a dozen goalies in the Premiership. I know, and you know what? The goalies can make mistakes. And Alisson's a cracking goalkeeper for Liverpool, but for the way Alan McGregor and look at the age of him, he's obviously very professional about the way he goes about his work. I cannot believe that he didn't play top six in England.
And you've got these guys in your squad, Gary.
Aye. Ox, have we got time for a new caller?
No, mate, no.
No.
He's been on once, don't push it. He should be in his bed at this time.
No, he's sitting here and I thought he's watching the game yesterday with me.
Don't rip it.
He's just fan of the show. Keep telling me.
Talking about the midfield, where do you think Hingway, Namdi, Ofobor will fit in next season?
That's a good question.
What a bit of round of applause for Jimmy getting the pronunciation bang on. That's impressive.
He must have been the dentist at the bottom of Crow Road today.
We were talking about the midfield and that. We've signed this boy. He's 21.
Listen, mate, I really don't know, mate. I mean, we bring these players in. I mean, we brought Kamara and he was at Dundee. I think, he comes in. We've watched him sometimes. If you take his performance at Easter Road, it was in a dodgy pitch. The guy was absolutely superb.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. He's a bit. He's 5'9". He's robust. He gets about the pitch. So is he? They're looking to bring him in, get him experience, learn off of Davis and Jack, see where he plays. As it tells us, Zungu's going to leave because there's an option with Bath in the summer. All the time will tell JFK. You know what I mean?
Well, Zungu for me, I think we should just wave him goodbye. He's not done anything, but no, as far as I'm concerned, we've signed the boy for Bournemouth. I know, and these two guys have been signed in a 4-year contract each.
4-year deal.
So that mean Namdi Ofobor is 21.
Showing off, Jimmy. Showing off. Come on.
I'm not what to say. He's the guy for Bournemouth, the midfielder, and his name's Namdi Ofobor, right?
Ding, 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 ding.
By the way, I wondered what you came on for the night. Do I know?
I know. Wind up. No, but that's a good. They're looking at a couple of good ones for the future, So the gaffer's building a good team for next season as well.
I'll not be his name much longer.
You don't even know with the gaffer, JFK. I'll take this to travel and then we'll go to Blue Star. You don't know with the gaffer if he's bringing him in, saying you're in a 4-year contract, you come here for a year, you disappear, learn how we play, we'll not see you. Apart from maybe pre-season, you don't know with the gaffer.
Mm-hmm.
Travel and then Blue Star.
No, that is the Gnuten signing. Jimmy, what's his name again?
Namdi Ofobro.
All right, good. Him and the boy Simpson, and I think what the exciting thing for me is that we are doing so well in the league, we're doing so well in Europe, we're pushing on, we're really looking at a proper team, we're looking at a proper unit, but the manager and the team are looking forward and they're continuing to push forward. And I think all the things that we were worried that lot would do whilst we were getting cheated, they didn't do it, and this is where I want us to do it. See, whilst they're now starting to hit their spiral, I want us to put our foot on the throat and really open up and don't think. I know it's great if we can get this one done and dusted, but I'm thinking 2, 3, 4 years down the line, and that looks as if what the manager, the board, and we've not even touched on that, but the board and the backroom guys, they are building us for a future, and that's what we need.
We felt the night when we have a bad result, it's going to take up the whole show. Let's be honest about it. Blue Star, last word of the evening.
Oh, so I like Bob Gell's wee clip there. Talking about that for the bro, he says that'll not be his name for long.
No.
What Travel and that said there, that's bang on, Ox. Our manager, I wasn't coming on to criticise the guy tonight. I was only stating the fact that I want this blooming thing wrapped up, the same as we all do, and then we can celebrate, and we know that it's in our hands. That was all. But when you look at the way our manager's, what he's done for our club, for the limited time that he's been there, he's changed the place upside down. He's got a cracking team on the park. He spent very little money considering what other managers have had, and yet we're playing to a system we're bringing in guys, some of them we've never heard of, and yet they just place into our team, no problem. No fault at all. The guy's been absolutely incredible, and what we've got on the park is amazing.
Cheers, mate. What about the Bridge?
Oh, what can I say? You know, a marvellous night again. Oxley are superb. Everybody really good and quite quiet, particularly for Blue Star. Thought it was really a really good show. Did well. Good questions, good answers. So can I just say to you, other Rangers fans all over the world, particularly Rangers fans on here on Rangers Radio, every single one is, keep it going for the Rangers, because the Rangers really need us and we need them. Keep it going, everybody. Keep it going.
Can I thank everybody who called in tonight? Or everybody that called in made a call about, I don't know, we lost them, but thanks to everybody who took part in the conversation tonight. Everybody. Jimmy stole the show with his pronunciation. Come on to show off. Well done, JFK. Thanks to Bridgeman and Travel Rug for joining us on the panel. Fox and Old School Blue for doing the technicals. Everybody for listening. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back tomorrow night between 8 and 10. We'll be joined by the one and only Southside. Stay safe, everybody. Please. Take it away.